Carroll O'Connor was a giant of television, an actor whose performance as Archie Bunker made him one of the most recognizable faces in American culture. But behind the laughs and the Emmy Awards was a man shaped by hardship, ambition, and personal tragedy. O'Connor wasn't simply playing a role, he was channeling a lifetime of experiences that gave him a unique understanding of the human condition. He grew up in the Bronx during the Great Depression, lived through war, studied literature and theater, and spent years building his craft. His story is one of reinvention, resilience, and deep emotional complexity. And though he brought warmth and humor to millions, there were people he genuinely disliked, most notably Rob Reiner, his on-screen son. O'Connor once confessed that he hated him more than anyone, a statement that reveals the tension beneath the famous family sitcom. A Bronx childhood and a life of struggle, Carroll. O'Connor was born John Carroll O'Connor on August 2, 1924, in the Bronx, New York. He grew up in an Irish-American family that valued education, storytelling, and tradition. His early years were marked by the economic hardship of the Great Depression, which shaped his understanding of class and struggle. These experiences later became the emotional foundation of his most famous character, Archie Bunker. O'Connor's family emphasized hard work and discipline, and he carried those values into every phase of his life. Even as a young man, he displayed a curiosity about people and society, a trait that would later make his performances feel so authentic. He attended Wake Forest University and later the University of Montana, pursuing academic success while quietly building the emotional depth that would define his acting. War, education, and a love of language. O'Connor's academic path was interrupted by World War II, during which he served in the United States Merchant Marine. This period exposed him to hardship, discipline, and the wide range of human behavior that would later inform his acting. After the war, he returned to school and earned a degree in English, deepening his appreciation for literature and storytelling. His early passion for language and expression eventually led him to teaching, but it was acting that called him most strongly. In the 1950s, he moved to Ireland and studied at University College Dublin, where he developed a deep love for theater. These years abroad expanded his perspective and sharpened his craft, setting the stage for the career that would follow. The long road to television success. When O'Connor returned to America, he began the slow climb through the entertainment industry. The 1960s saw him take on small roles in both film and television, proving his versatility as a character actor. He appeared in productions like Cleopatra, 1963. What Did You Do in the War, Daddy? 1966. And Point Blank, 1967, earning respect for his ability to shift between drama and comedy. But despite his talent, major success remained elusive. It was a time of patient struggle and quiet ambition as he continued to build his skills and wait for the opportunity that would change everything. That opportunity came in the 1970s, and it would make him a household name. Archie Bunker, a character that changed television. In 1971, Carroll O'Connor landed the role that would define his career, Archie Bunker, in All in the Family. Archie was a working-class man from Queens who embodied the prejudices, frustrations, and cultural conflicts of the era. O'Connor could have avoided the role, but instead embraced the challenge of playing a character many people hated. His genius was in giving Archie depth, humor, and humanity, turning him into more than a stereotype. The show became a cultural phenomenon, breaking television barriers by addressing racism, gender inequality, war, and economic tension, topics rarely discussed on primetime TV. O'Connor won 4 Emmy Awards for his performance, and his portrayal of Archie became a mirror of America itself. Viewers laughed at him, with him, and sometimes through him because he was a character that felt real. Reinvention, from Archie to Chief Gillespie. When All in the Family ended, O'Connor refused to be trapped by the role that had made him famous. He reinvented himself as Chief Bill Gillespie in the Heat of the Night, a series that ran from 1988 to 1995. Gillespie was a far cry from Archie, thoughtful, evolving, and capable of growth. O'Connor didn't just act in the series, he helped produce and write it, proving his creative talent extended beyond performance. The show explored racial tension and crime in the Deep South, and O'Connor's character matured over time, reflecting the actor's own growth. This role demonstrated his range and his refusal to be defined by a single iconic character. It also showed his dedication to storytelling that mattered, and his ability to shift from satire to genuine drama. A life of love, loss, and devotion. In 1962, while working on Cleopatra in Rome, O'Connor and his wife, Nancy Fields, made a decision that changed their lives. They adopted a 6-year-old boy, naming him Hugh, in memory of O'Connor's brother, who had died a year earlier. This act was both compassionate and deeply symbolic. It reflected O'Connor's commitment to family and his desire to bring love and stability to a child who needed it. As Hugh grew, he was exposed to the world of television through his father's career. At age 17, he worked on Archie Bunker's Place as a courier, gaining insight into the professional world of acting. O'Connor later created a role for him on In the Heat of the Night, offering a father's guidance and support in the only way he knew how. Tragedy and advocacy. The death of Hugh. On March 28, 1995, O'Connor's life changed forever when his son Hugh died by suicide after battling drug addiction. The loss devastated him and left a permanent scar on his heart. Yet O'Connor chose to turn his grief into purpose. He became a vocal advocate against drug abuse, using his fame to speak openly about addiction and its consequences. He appeared in public service announcements for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, hoping to prevent other families from suffering the same tragedy. His advocacy became a defining part of his later life, proving that even in the darkest moments he sought to bring light and understanding to others. The pain of losing Hugh never left him, but his commitment to helping others reflected his deepest humanity. The controversy. O'Connor's hatred of Rob Reiner. Despite his public image as a warm, humorous man, O'Connor harbored intense feelings toward Rob Reiner, who played his son Michael Meathead Stivic. In interviews, O'Connor admitted that he had never hated anyone as much as he hated Reiner. This wasn't a minor disagreement. It was a profound and lasting animosity rooted in differences of temperament and philosophy. O'Connor believed Reiner carried an air of superiority, acting as if he was morally and intellectually above everyone else because he played the liberal son. O'Connor felt undermined and challenged, not just professionally, but personally. He described Reiner as arrogant and condescending, someone who never seemed like a friend. Their tension wasn't simply creative, it was deeply emotional and ideological. Yet O'Connor maintained professionalism on screen, letting their friction fuel the authenticity of the show's dramatic power. the hidden truth behind the iconic on-screen family. O'Connor's hatred of Reiner wasn't merely personal, it was philosophical. Archie Bunker was meant to be a complex character, flawed, real, and human. But O'Connor felt that Reiner's approach turned their interactions into a moral lecture rather than genuine conflict. He believed the show's dynamic shifted from nuanced drama to a daily ideological confrontation. O'Connor was an actor, not a preacher, and he resented being forced into a political battleground. Despite the tension, he never allowed it to ruin the show. In fact, the animosity may have fueled the intensity of their scenes, giving Archie and Michael's relationship its unforgettable edge. But privately, O'Connor never softened his view. He maintained that Reiner was the one person he truly could not tolerate, and his hatred became part of the hidden story behind television history. Conclusion: the legacy of Carroll O'Connor. Carroll O'Connor died at 76 on June 21, 2001, in Culver City, California, after suffering a heart attack related to long-term diabetes. His death marked the end of an era in American television. He was buried at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery, where a memorial also honors his son Hugh, an enduring symbol of his love and loss. O'Connor's legacy remains powerful and complex. He was a man of deep passion, artistic integrity, and emotional intensity. He brought Archie Bunker to life in a way that made America confront itself. He reinvented himself again as a compassionate leader in the heat of the night. He experienced profound grief and turned it into advocacy. And even in his bitterness toward Rob Reiner, he showed that behind every iconic performance is a real human being, flawed, complicated, and unforgettable. Carroll O'Connor's life was not only a story of fame, but a testament to resilience, love, and the power of truth.